good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the channel. I do thank you for your time. And if you recall, in that last video, I was talking about how this plywood had warped a little bit on me. And of course, I'm talking about this bottom surface of this float pod right here, the pieces that I used to make those. They did pull and warp just a little bit, and you saw the curve in this piece over here on the right hand side that I had to pull out. But I also talked about the need to put some braces inside the flotation box, and so that's what I'm doing today. I'm making up these braces, and again, that's in order to pull this corner up even so that this surface is parallel to the bottom of the boat. And we want that nice and flush and parallel with the bottom surface of the boat. We don't want the float pods to be hanging down. We don't want them to be sticking up. We want them nice and parallel, like I said, like I keep saying. And so let me show you. Hopefully the camera will pick this up. It may or may not, but we're there. I've got those braces made. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but we got just a little bit over a 3/8 of an inch gap right there, and that gap stays even all the way out. And again, the camera may not be picking that up, but that measurement does not change fore to aft. And same thing over here. Get a little bit closer to that. And as we move the ruler aft, and I know that piece of wood right there is nice and straight. I just cut it on a table saw the other day. That measurement doesn't change. And again, I hope the camera's picking that up. We've got just a little bit over 3/8 of an inch, and it's consistent all the way fore to aft. So I've got these braces made just like they need to be made. And all I have to do now is, and this is the fun part, pull them back out, wet them down, and then bond them back in place. And they are in there with a little bit of an interference fit. They're a little bit tight. I mean, they're not terribly tight. I can take a little wood block, small hammer, and tap them out of there if I need to, because that's how I put them in. I think I just use this little wood block right here to tap them into place. But like I said, there is a little bit of an interference fit, but again, that will serve another purpose. And the other purpose of that is it will be transferring the force that's applied to this bottom surface of this float pod when we're moving through the water. Remember, we're going to have a lot of water pressure on this surface right here, and that'll take a lot of that force, a lot of that energy. It'll transfer through these braces into this little piece of cypress right here, into the plywood underneath. And on the back side of this plywood is a 1.5 inch thick piece of cypress wood that makes up the top brace for the transom. And of course, that's that piece that will serve as a mounting surface for my outboard. And I've got to have something to clamp the outboard to. So that little brace right there, it runs the full width of the transom. So that energy, that force will be transferred, like I said, into this surface, into the braces, into this piece, into the plywood, into that transom brace that runs the width of the transom there at the top. And remember, as always, I like to remind everyone the boat's upside down. This is the top of the boat right here, top of the transom. And so hopefully that will alleviate any future problems with this piece of plywood flexing and then causing any cracks right here at this joint. And the idea is to make this flotation box here on both sides as stiff as we can make it, so that we don't run into any issues with cracks or any other kind of stress issues later on down the road. Okay, folks, I'm going to get these out, and I'm going to get them wet down and bonded in, and then I'll have to start making the pieces for the other side. All right, we'll catch you in the next segment. Okay, let's try that from a different angle. I wanted to show you that. As you can see, as I move aft, that measurement doesn't change. It's consistent. I can live with that. I mean, if it moved, I don't know, 1/64 of an inch maybe. I can live with that. Same thing over here. Let me get up, get the camera moved over there. Hopefully we got a little bit better light right there. We can move that camera around, get in close. Hopefully you can see that. Move that aft. Measurement stays the same. Like I said, if it did move, maybe 1/64 of an inch, and I can live with that. One of the other boat builders on YouTube said it's never going to be absolutely perfect. That's okay. You know, we get it within 1/64 of an inch, we're good. All right, folks, I'll catch you in the next segment. Okay, folks, that is that. They are bonded in, and all we have to do now, like I said 1,000 times, gotta let the epoxy fire off. So all we can do is wait. But I double checked the measurements on these gaps. They're good, nothing shifted, nothing moved. And again, it's just a waiting game. Gotta let this stuff dry. Now the epoxy, you know, the beads are kind of small. Right now the goal is just to get these pieces bonded in. We'll come back and make it look pretty later. I'll probably put some more epoxy on these corners right here. I'll go ahead and put some more around these forward edges on both sides just to kind of fill that up. I don't know if you can see that right there, but yeah, on that forward edge, we'll kind of just round this off with a little epoxy right in here. And then over here I didn't even get a bead on it because the clamp, I left the clamp in place. I did not want to move that clamp. Well, we're going to let that epoxy set up with the clamp in place. We'll pull the clamp later. And like I said, it's a waiting game. I did use the medium speed hardener, but even though it's about 80 degrees right now, it still takes that medium speed a couple hours to fire off. I'll come out and check on this here in about 3 hours and see how it's doing. And then once I'm confident that these pieces aren't going anywhere, the epoxy's fired off and cured properly, we'll get that clamp off, and then we'll move over to the other side and start making those pieces. So it's like I said, it's time consuming, but it's something that I feel is necessary. And like I said, I want this to look good, but also these do serve a purpose, and I explained that in that previous segment, you know, about how the force, the pressure from the water, as the boat's moving through the water, it'll be transferred through this surface and into these braces, and then that'll be absorbed by this strip, and of course the transom bracelets on the back side, or I should say on the inside of the transom. Well, let me show you. Maybe. And that's that piece of cypress wood I was talking about. It's kind of hard to get that camera angle just right, but that's that piece I was talking about. And that piece, top edge of that piece is about right there, so we're not transferring any of that force into that 3/8 sheet of plywood. I mean, it's got plenty of meat there. All right, folks, I will catch you in the next segment. I will probably be back once I get started on that other side. Well, good afternoon. It is the next day. These pieces have had overnight for the epoxy to set up, and got to come back, add a little bit more. I had a clamp in the way right here. Hopefully you can see that, but I had a clamp in the way right here, so I couldn't get any epoxy in that or it's an inboard corner actually. So in this inboard corner here, I was not able to get any epoxy in there, and we'll take care of that when I go to be bonding these pieces in. I'll just make up a little extra, come back and pretty these up a little bit, and add epoxy where I need to add it, and just make that as strong as I need to make it. So that's what I'm going to be working on this afternoon. This is just kind of slow and tedious. Now hopefully once I get these pieces in, like I said, it's real tedious work, just time consuming to cut those out and make those and get them to fit properly. But hopefully once that is done and I get this top piece put on both sides, this will start to go a little bit faster, and I need for it to go a little faster. I'm anxious to get the fiberglass on the hull. All right, folks, I will see you when these are done. Well, I had every intention of bonding these braces in tonight, but about 6:30 I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a little break, and just never got back to it. And actually, I had to go and answer the grandfather call, and my grandson wanted me to play with him. So guess what, folks? Remember what I said here a few videos ago? I said you got to have your priorities in order. And so when my grandson said, hey, play with me, Pop-Pop, so what else could I say but, okay, let's go play. And so I put this on hold, and of course I'll get those bonded in. I'll get them bonded in probably sometime tomorrow, and then I'll start on the rest of it there. I'm going to try to get these closed up, like I said in that previous video, so that I can start doing the fiberglass work on the hull, and I need to get that laid down. And there's a reason for that. I'm not going to disclose the reason right now, but I do have a reason for wanting to get this boat done, get that fiberglass work done, and getting that done pronto, as in as quick as I can get it done. So more on that later. I will be back. I will show you those braces tomorrow when I get those bonded in place, and then like I said, I'm going to start working on getting these closed out, and then just getting all the final finish sanding done. I've already started rounding off corners here. As you can see, I got these corners rounded off here, and it's pretty close to the way I want them. Like we said, fiberglass does not like sharp corners. You got to round that stuff off, and that's what I'm doing here. I kind of want to get this radius here as close as I can to this radius. And also, I didn't mention this before, I went on ahead and put another little piece of 1/4 inch on top of this outer panel right here, and that's just to continue this line right here. It's a continuation of that line all the way to the rear of the boat. And that basically, this is just decoration. I guess, okay, yeah, maybe it does add a little bit of strength to that little fiberglass panel right there, but mostly that's just for cosmetics. Like I said, it just continues this line right here all the way to the back. I'll get this seam faired out. I'll smooth it out, slick it out. And of course, once I get the fiberglass on that, hopefully, if I do it right and get it nice and smooth the way I want it, you won't even be able to see that seam. We shall see about that. All right, folks, I will catch you tomorrow, and I will catch you in the next segment. Okay, folks, welcome back. And that will make for a very good stopping point right there. As you can see, I've got these braces bonded in now here on both sides. Now in the next video, we're just going to pick up right where we leave off here. And what I'll be doing in that next video is I'm going to be recording the installation of these top panels right here, the ones I'm patting right there with my hand. And got a little bit more finesse work to do on those. And of course I also have to measure for this piece here and for this piece right here, this kind of little catty-cornered piece. And again, I will do that in the next video. So until then, I do thank each and every one of you for watching, and I just pray for God's blessing on each and every one of you who are watching this. And again, thank you, and we will see you in the next video.